Today is very important day because we're going to be talking something so important. Today, the US, is it still a business friendly or has
Can you hear me?
it? Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. I'm ready.
Right. Okay. So today's discussion on the podcast is US still a friendly business country or has the myths and the noise that we are hearing? Most people are confused. Investors are hesitant right now. Entrepreneurs don't know where to move, either to move or to expand. Some are waiting, some are walking away because they don't understand what exactly is going on. Social media is so loud, and the headlines are even complicating the matter. So we don't understand what exactly going on. The headlines are dramatic, and the immigration policies are changing every day. But we are here today for clarity, which is rare. So today we are not here for the noise. We are here for people who are confused, to give them clarity part, and the facts, nothing but the facts from the founder and the group CEO, Mr. Avanish Nichkade of Air Global, a Dallas, Texas company with over 10 countries. We want to welcome you once again on this podcast and thank you for sparing time. And for the people who are watching us around the world, I want to thank you. Please stay tuned. And then as we expose and then separate the noise versus the facts. Thank you for listening. May we know you, sir, for those who are listening to us right now.
Mr. Noali, great to meet you again, and welcome to all your viewers and listeners.
Thank you very much for that introduction. So, the first question, and what bothers most people who are watching, who has been searching on Google, ChatGPT to understand what exactly is happening in the United States. What is going on is every day they are hearing all kind of noise, all kind of information, but we are here today, and we know that with your experience, someone who have business and who lived in the US and have business in over 10 countries, you should be able to know and give them directions through your experience, and then of course the first-hand information from what is happening with the current president, Donald Trump. So having said that, please, can you give us exactly what is going on and how you wanted those who are going to watch this or watch it on the YouTube, on Facebook, and other platforms, either today or tomorrow. So please help us to unpack so that the business leaders around the world and those who intend to invest in the US or expand their business or relocate to the USA will be able to understand what is going on, the systems, and also the pathway that will help them. So please, go over to you,
Sure.
sir.
All right. So, thank you very much again for having me. It's 6 a.m. here in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
So, nice and bright and early here. Just to let everyone know that I am a US citizen and I'm living in US for last 12 years. I'm also an Australian citizen. So you asked me a question, but if you think it is not just the US, the whole world has been um, facing the challenges of wars, and for sure, with the new, the administration, they came. If you look back to what has happened in US, so I don't want to get into politics, or I'm not supporting any side or anything. But the our president Donald Trump stand, I mean, stood for the elections with certain promises to the country. One of them was the safety and security, which he claims and the government claims that about 10 to 20 illegal immigrants or people crossed the border and came in. They were not vetted, and whether they illegal criminals, whatever it was. So that was not happening. So he promised the American people to close the borders and take all the illegal immigrants out. That was his. It was a he ran on the election on that basis, and it was a big support for him. The American people wanted that change, and so from the day one he started implementing. So that created a bit of a chaos because his opposition parties don't want him to succeed, don't want him. So that's why it's a political thing. But if you're American or if you're living in America, this thing, so then I think hopefully it's a good thing that you're all so if the statistics I was watching yesterday, that the murders, the safety has starting to show has improved in the US cities by a mile in last 1 year or so. So so government has all the stats, and I was listening to the secretary. So I mean, that is something positive. So that is one thing that one has to understand. That is not something dramatic. It's based on a reaction of open border policy of the previous administration, which allowed 10 to 20 million people. Now that led to a lot of problems, including housing crisis, including inflation, and the government Secretary of Finance, they feel that it was politically motivated, where the other party wanted these people as their base. They wanted them to have all the things so that they could vote in the election. So they gave him money. They try to get him fast track them and bypass all the regular norms. So whatever happened in last 4 years before the prior administration was not normal. So now the what current administration is doing is really try to correct the course. So that's just the politics or the policies of the current government. It looks like a bit, it has changed. But it's not just America. I mean, you look at the world around, there have been all these wars happening, fights happening, and the president has been, involved to bring peace in a way, whether it is Israel, the Gaza, whether it is Ukraine or Russia, whether all other countries also. He claims to have, stopped or affected at least 8 wars around the world. So it's a world phenomenon, not just US. And so that's in general. I do feel now we have elections in November, and you will find that from here on things will be done. I mean, you can talk about different politics and things like that, but we just hear on a factual basis as to what is happening. So there is one party who went into the election, the main president, with certain agenda that he laid out to the American people. He was accepted overwhelmingly, and is trying to do his job in making America a safer, better in every way. And I think his logo is "Make America Great Again." That's the broader thing. We can talk about immigration and the finance in a second, but that's my
Yes,
initial take. That obviously any change, whether it is your home, whether it is your business, or anyway, change always comes with some resistance, and this is the politics. The two big parties are fighting for power, but I do believe that whatever is happening in general may prove to be good, where America is trying to be great again.
that's right. We borrowed the slogan of President Donald Trump, "Make America Great Again." But
Yes.
is President Donald Trump a reformist?
Is a big time reformist, and I think his ideas are not just yesterday's. I think he made certain claims 20, 30 years ago, well before he went into politics, when he was a successful businessman, because he saw that the American manufacturing was in decline. So he attributed that to China. And I think during pandemic, the Americans realized that they depended on China in every way. And so China is the real threat they feel, as to being a superpower. And so, it's a tug of war going on. The world is changing with that regard. And I'm not a political person. I'm not a expert on these things. I'm just saying what I see, what I hear as a U.S. citizen living here in Dallas, Texas.
Yes, as someone who is operating in that business environment, so is he favoring businesses, SMEs? Is the policies or the new laws and compliances, are they favoring businesses? Are they creating or favoring the working class? That is the employees or the employers. So which people are benefiting this?
I think the policies of the administration, they claim and they intend to benefit all Americans. In fact, if I can say that he's not against immigration, but he's against illegal immigration. So what he's saying
Correct.
is that you come through the front door, come. So he is trying to address whatever the the so-called gaps in the process or systems are there, and so because of this Make America Great Again policies, he wants to stop or change the reliance on foreign workers quite a bit, and he wants people to come through a legal ways. And so right now, it's just been 1 year in administration. It's more of taking the illegal, especially the criminal element, out of the society. So to your question, the business wise, I think he's got commitments to bring in $15 trillion, and so it will start to have a trickle effect. I mean, last 2 quarters, the results were far exceeded the expectations. If you see, just 2 days ago, the stock market was at all time high. So that clearly shows that something positive is happening in the business market. So I do believe, if the what government is saying, if it is true, then all these investments are coming, which will create more employment, and even the wages are supposed to rise. He's actually trying to do something for affordability, which is a big issue for the elections in November. So they're trying to bring down the interest rates, stuff like that. So that's a government problem. But if you're talking just from a business point of view, yes, people are scared a bit, in the sense that the affordability is the issue. But what they government claims is that they do not start, they actually inherited a huge problem when the inflation even touched 9.2% at the peak. Now they brought it well under control, but the economy is also growing, and they feel that the policies that they put in place, including reducing the taxes and all, will start to show results in 2026 and beyond. So it's only a beginning, but we feel that the economy is turning in a big way. And so, they're trying to change things, and that's the government prerogative. I mean, the president is the commander in chief, and constitution gives him all the rights. So whatever he feels is a security threat, they can act on that. And so economically, I think the last 2 quarters in 2025 showed that the economy has grown, and I mean, we are hoping that it will go further in 2026, and he has to show that to the American public that his policies are working. And so that's my take on the
Yes,
business front.
very well explained. Looking at it as a key player, does it favors the domestic players? Does it more the economic environment of the US at the moment, and those foreign direct investments, and those investors, potential investors, entrepreneurs who are like they are in the stage of trying to probably misunderstood or a kind of misunderstanding of the most of the economic policies of the present administration. So the business climate, there are fears, and then there are people that or are they over exaggerated, or the media headlines and all of that. So tell me, sir, what people who are watching us with this discussion, small business owners, restaurant operators, tech owners, entrepreneurs around the world who are not based in the US, but they want to expand to the USA, to tell me from your own understanding, and you that is on ground in the United States, tell me, is it the best time for them to latch into these policies, and then take advantage of some of the good side of the policies, or are they to wait? So can you offer your opinion to those who are watching us right now?
Sure. So, one of the other factors that affecting the America is the debt that the country has. It is over $36 trillion, and that is huge thing. So, as a business owner, a president is also trying to bring that down. And what his analysis has shown is that a lot of countries, like America, was not really charging them big duties and all, like 2%, 3%. But a lot of countries in the
Yes.
world, I mean, they have the governments have all the stats. I'm not a government spokesperson, but I'm just telling you from what I understand. So there has been a huge trade deficit in the America. So it is like if you think of a business owner, you are getting into debt and debt and debt every day, that you have a thing that you and your children and your grandchildren have to pay. So he's trying to do something about it. And so I think what the government has found, a lot of these countries have got a lot of barriers to entry for the American goods or American markets and things like that. So he's a negotiator. He used these tariffs as a way to make it into even field. That okay, let's like we will be giving you all the things, but you putting us high targets. Like in some countries, they were having 100% duties, or they would make these life very difficult in Europe and all that, with all the non-trade barriers that they were doing. So for a year, he has been using tariff as a leverage to negotiate a fairer terms for America. Of course, that's going to shake things. Of course, the exporters to US, they're used to certain things. They're going to find that. So there was when it all started last April. There's a lot of fears that all the prices in America are going to go through the roof. It'll become less affordable and all that. But that has not happened. In fact, the economy is booming, and generally, so his policies are there. His energy. He liked to. I think his slogan was "Drill, baby, drill." So he wanted America to be self-sufficient. So they're going all for the oil. And at Biden's time, the oil had reached over $5 a barrel. Right now, a gallon, sorry, and it is like 2.6 yesterday when I filled up. So that a good gas price or good petrol price, it helps the economy in a big way, because all the cost of distribution things, everything comes down. And so I mean, he's trying to tackle things in a very big way. One of the things he noticed is America, violence was the issue. The second issue was drugs. So he has been really fighting against the drugs. And so he's been pressuring Canada and Mexico, because it's been manufactured wherever it comes from. But for these two countries, it's been coming, and the tens of thousands of Americans die every year for that. So he's trying to, stop it from coming. And so, that's a huge battle that has been going on, and I feel the government at least is saying that they have been successful on that front also. So Donald Trump, our president, is tackling things on a multiple issues at one time. It's not like you do one and like, so he's tackled on all these things. From economically saying, he's trying to bring in peace to the world, and I mean, his opponents will disagree with a lot of things, but they have a it's politics, and they're not going to give him any credit whatsoever, even whatever he does. So that will go on. But just for normal people listening from over the world, I think America is the great place to do business. The opportunities are definitely great. And if these investments start to flow, which the economy is reflecting already, the stock market is reflecting the optimism and the positivity, then everyone should consider doing business or expanding business to US.
Right. It's a very serious issue, just like you painted, that is trying to make put America first, and of course to reduce. Nobody encourages illegality, and of course, as the president has said, like you rightly mentioned, the drug peddlers or those who have used that pattern of business might have wreaked havoc on people's lives, and destinies might have been destroyed as a result of that. So I believe with time, people will understand, just like you said, there are a lot of things, positive things have come out of the policy, even though most people are painting it in a different way. So what are the areas that you think opportunities lies for those who want to go to the US on a very clear pathway based on the new systems, new policies? And what are the areas that you think people today, or those who are listening to us, that they're overlooking because of fear or misinformation, and the industries, for example, the states in the US, or business models that you still think that offer strong growth but aren't trending online? Most of them are not been trending like other things that we hear negative things. So what are the areas and opportunities that you think people should take advantage of?
Well, first of all, I think he's very, I mean, because of the open border policy, it has caused a lot of havoc in America. So his policy is he's increased the checking,
Yeah.
the vetting of the all the applications. That has been the case. Secondly, he wants those who study in America, those who are Americans, to get priority in getting the jobs. So the unemployment goes down in America. So what they found is that all the foreign workers are coming and taking up all the jobs and things like that. So they're trying to change that. Okay, it doesn't mean it's not there, but they want to limit it to the highly skilled or the more unaffordable, like more complex type of roles, and not for the regular jobs. So there's definitely an opportunity here in US. Now you talk about immigration, and I know I'm from India originally, and India H1B was affected in a big way. When I was in India in December, there was a lot of anti-US sentiments, because they feel at that time the tariff was 50%, and geopolitical things were been happening, and so the student visas also they made it tough, because there are a lot of activists from foreign countries. They were coming in as student visas, and then doing things which America felt that it was against their national interests or the America First policy. So they've taken big steps in canceling a lot of student visas, and anyone coming into the country, they've become stricter. Now, that doesn't mean that no one else is welcome in the country. I think please understand that the president is a business person. He welcomes people with who can contribute positively to the American society, and business owners. They do contribute a lot to the American society, because they bring in the wealth, they bring in their talent, their ideas, they create employment and things like that. Now, there is one more issue that which has been taking headlines is in 75 countries, all the immigration is stopped. To my understanding, I'm not an immigration attorney, but the only application they've stopped is they've done all the research that which from people from which countries are involved in fraud, abuse, overstaying, or taking a lot of welfare benefits. And so what they said is, okay, we are going to do extra checking for the people from these countries who come in, no matter on what visas. Uh, so what they are doing is the visas that get you to immigration status, they have stopped it temporarily for 75 odd countries, but it is all of the visas are still open. If they are applying for student visa, tourist visa, business visas, they're still open. I mean, the lawyers will give. It's not a legal opinion. It is my understanding, and so yes. So when those who are genuine, they want to do business. Uh, it is still open, so we can see what relevant visas one can come under, and it's definitely a great place to be. Now you ask also about the timing. you know Timing is a guesswork, but I guess
Yes.
as the churning is happening, this the house prices have dropped with the recent things. So this may be a good time to be part of the change and ride along to better things, because the business owners have been holding back their monies, holding back their investments, because there's uncertainty in the marketplace. So I mean, if you can see through
Yeah.
the opportunity, then it can still be pretty good, because some established business models are affected, but the new opportunities come in, and there are things that you can control, the things that you that are not in your control. Let's say artificial intelligence. There's a fear, not just in US, around the world, that a lot of jobs are going to be taken away by AI. No one knows. In fact, some company opened up an AI tool which is going to take away a lot of the manual jobs, and all the absolute top tech companies in India lost more than 6% of their value in just a day. Even all the big stocks in US
Wow.
lost. So that is it's no one's control. So we can't do anything about it. We just have to see and readjust. So I think, to summarize, the whole world is going through huge change right now. But if you want to bet where my family, where I can do well, where the economic prospects are good, where my children's future career can be taken care of, I think America is a very good place to be.
Fantastic. America is the very good place to start this. For someone listening to us today, Mr. Avanish Nishkade is the owner of AIN Global Group Holding Limited. Is based in Dallas, Texas, United States of America. Yeah, with portfolios and then expertise in the areas of business expansion, business migration, technology, and other brokerage and all of other business consultants. So, if you are watching us now, you have any question on anything that you think we're going to be addressing right on the spot while we're streaming, please do not forget to do that right now. So we'll be wrapping up on this podcast. So drop your questions as we do justice to it this on this podcast. So for someone planning to invest, expand into the United States, or relocate to the US, whether from Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, where you also have your business, and also we here representing the Global. So, what areas are they going to be focusing? Because a lot of people are looking at no more B1, B2 visas, okay? No more H1 visas, it says, and there are all kind of things. For some of them who are watching us right now, planning to invest maybe through business expansion or relocate to the US, what are the things, what are the best pathway right now for us to say, oh, they are ready? Those are going to contact you or reach out to us. Which one do you think they will start with right now, based on the new policies, the economic changes, and the other factors combined?
So I want to clarify that we work with the immigration attorneys, we work with the lawyers. We don't give immigration or legal advice. So I'm not qualified to do that, but we use. So what I understand is the tourist visas and the business visas are all open. It's just that the scrutiny or the vetting has increased. That's all. So I don't believe it's a no, but they're trying to put hurdles for you to just come because it was very open before. Come in, go out, do wrong things, and get. And so the government is trying to check on that. And I think things will stabilize. Um, so I think I would like to say that each country has a different thing with American, so their attitude towards each country will be different. There'll be some will be favored. Within Africa, there are countries who are part of, they say, E2 countries. And if you're an E2 country, I think Cameroon is in there. I don't have the list right now. Maybe I can share. So you just need $125,000 to invest in a business in US where you own at least 50%, and the whole family can actually come over to US on a long-term basis. As long as you can run the business, as long as you can create some employment, so you can happily stay ever after. That is not a green card, but it's a long-term business. So we can help those people who are coming on that. Second, those who want a green card, but it's a substantial investment, about $1 million, 1,050,000, or if your business is in a rural area or high employment, about $800,000. In the first instance, the whole family, husband, wife, and all children, unmarried children under the age of 21, can get the green card and then come there. So this is through the business visas that you're talking about. Of course, there are many other categories, and everyone is trying to see what is the best one, the cheapest one, and the quickest one, and all those sort of questions are there. But without the visas, also you are welcome to invest in US. You can buy a small business. It just, unless you have a visa, you're not allowed to live here and run the business. But you can certainly have employees. You can always set up a company. You can have business partners. Maybe you have your friends, relatives who can afford, if you feel they are good, they're trustworthy, or you can work with us. We can be helping you to establish your business, establish some credibility, and that may help you in a positive way in time to come. So we do consult, and we can create a legal entity that is owned 100% by you, or in a joint venture partnership with us, or whatever. So you can keep these two as a separate issues. One is or owning or investing in a business, that is 100% possible. Okay, even today. Then the family, the migration side, it depends on which country you're coming from, what is the relationship between that country and the US in terms of visas, and the migration attorneys can guide on that basis. It also reflects on, they've increased the scrutiny, as I'm told, from your background, your organizations you're affiliated with, have you got any criminal conviction before, and I mean, there's a huge population of Somalia in one of the states, and they found the huge frauds, almost $7-8 billion worth. So now they're taking extra action against people from that country. Now, the normal people from that country have not done anything, but they have to pay for, because of the consequences of certain things that have happened. Unfortunately, these things happen.
Absolutely.
Uh, so that's, I mean, it's a reality. So it's a reset happening right now.
Right.
But I can say that
Right.
America is a great place to be from a business point of view, from a career point of view, and it's a safe place in that sense. So he's trying to bring in more safety
That's
in the
absolutely
country as well.
correct. Right. Yes. So, having said this, for those who are watching us right now, someone is asking me here, based on the chatbot. They said, so you said $150,000. So, what sector, or does it have any business model specific? And how did they reach out? what are the first step? Can you just give a summary of how they can get that done, or in what business, what states in the US that business model will work, and or is any kind of business?
So basically, that what I mentioned is not for everyone. Those are only for the E2 countries. Okay, so only those who are from those E2 countries, the country with whom U.S. government has a treaty. So let me read out which are the African countries which have E2 status. One is Cameroon, other one is Congo, one is Egypt, Ethiopia has, Liberia has, Morocco has, Senegal has, and Togo. These are the countries from African region. If you are a citizen of these countries, you can invest about $125,000. That includes the legal fees, that includes company formation and things like that. Now, yeah, that will allow like husband, wife, your spouse can also get a work permit legally to do legally job, and children can come. And as long as you can, create and show, demonstrate that you're running a genuine business and it is creating employment in the country, you can stay for rest of your life on that business visa. Okay. Now that is only for those two countries. Now,
That's
if you and it doesn't matter which state, this is countrywide. You can choose your state, you can choose. I would always say, hey, come to Texas. It is the happening place. And the biggest thing is that there is no
Texas
state
has a
tax.
good environment.
Yeah, and then, no, financially
I
also
said,
there's no state tax,
yeah,
zero state tax, and that's why people from high state taxes come, like California and Washington State and all that. They all are moving here because financially it makes more sense for them, because you don't pay a state income tax on your personal income, you don't pay state income tax on your business income. That's a huge dent, and the cost of living is
that's
lower
right.
as compared to these, New York or California and things like that. So there's a lot of migration happening to the states like Florida. The big billionaires are moving to Florida, and other people are moving to Texas because of the friendly policies for the business environment and the cheaper cost of living, and mostly no taxes. So we can help you. We are based in Dallas, and so anywhere in Texas, we can certainly help. So that's with the immigration. But anyone who wants to invest in business, so we can guide them. We do charge consulting fees. Otherwise, everyone wants to just take your time and and say, "Oh, thank you. I'll consider it. I'll think about it," and then they never come back. So we do charge small consulting fee just to qualify genuine clients, just to differentiate from those who just want free information. Which I think with the AI and today's world, they can get it from the internet for free, not through our time.
Fantastic. This is very important for my fellow Africans who are watching right now, and then majority of them, and like the information is the weather of the Texas is similar to Nigeria. Is that correct?
Texas and Nigeria are very different. How can I say? But I just want to say one thing, that hey, all genuine business people are welcome. Just
Yeah,
come through the front door,
yeah,
and we can help
yeah.
assist with that. And those who want to expand their business into US, into Texas in particular, without having to rely on the permanent residency or permanent type of business visas, we can work. So we can align you with the immigration attorneys. They can work out a way. They can tell you do's, don'ts. But can take care of the business side of things for you. So I do encourage everyone that to feel positive about where things are heading, and hopefully next couple of months things will settle down as the midterm elections come closer. So that's what I think they're trying to do, is to stabilize the affordability problem, reduce the housing prices in some way. I think president has had a fight with the RBI governor. Has been pushing him to reduce the interest rates. I'm not everyone agrees the way he's gone about it, but his things are clear that if it can become more cheaper for people to afford houses, it'll be a lot better. I think the past one
Right.
big beautiful bill, they claim has got the biggest tax reduction of any time in the history of America, and that's how they feel that Americans are going to benefit in a big way. And they say last
Mhm.
two quarters in 2025 are showing the very positive trajectory. The stock market is responding, so there is a lot of positive feeling among all the chaos and all the media headlines that you hear, because he is resetting America in a very big way.
That's fantastic. As someone who have been to the US a couple of times, I understood everything you said. And for those who are watching us right now, listen, Mr. Avanish, the owner of AN Global Holding Limited, has the office in Dallas, Texas. And of course, you've heard what he said regarding the low tax rates in Dallas, which is not compared to other states like California and the rest of them, and New York and all that. So if you're watching us now, you are owner of business in your country, and you'll be looking on how to access U.S. market. The N Global is the best channel to go, because why? He has been. How many countries have you been to, sir?
More than 50 countries. For business
Correct.
dealings, yeah.
Exactly. So he virtually know almost the dynamics of those countries. In Africa, it has been, when he launched the business in Africa, it was in Ghana, Cameroon, Nigeria, Lagos, Abuja. So we're planning even for the South Africans and Kenya. So he knows from the Asia point of view in India, that's where he's at home, with all the technology and all that. In Australia, the same thing, where he once lived, and then he operated. I said, you said you were the one of the highest employer when you were in Australia, sir. Am I correct?
Not the highest employer, but I did have 200 employees, and on different
Correct.
works, we were involved in different businesses. I'm a chartered accountant, and I had a very large tax accounting practice. But I was young at that time. I was in my 20s. I had more hair. We were in international education business, and I
Yeah.
used to own international colleges in Australia and New Zealand. We owned a flying school as well. We used to teach up to commercial pilot's license. So life has been very good, and we've got a lot of experience, knowledge about the business, both as an accountant, giving them business advice, filing their taxes, to actually be owning different businesses in different sectors, different industries, and across many countries as well. So that's where,
Correct.
I think
This
I'm
is an
from.
advantage for those who will want to come through Englobo, because it's a
Yeah.
very diverse and very versatile someone I have worked closely, and I know his capacity and passion about helping businesses, growing businesses, because, like he rightly said, he has multiple knowledge in those things. And for those who are planning businesses, they coming from the financial background, so that's an added advantage to those who want to go into business in the US. So meaning every rules in the book of finance, taxes is his core competence. So since a chartered accountant, that means you're not going to go wrong when it comes to taxing laws and taxing policies in the US. So he's going to guide you, not only that, help you to put your business in a way that you can be able to access the money market, financial market in the US, which is very, very added advantage. There are so many people who are offering similar service of consulting, business migrations, business expansion. They're not coming from your background, sir. And the majority of them, most times they model things up, because having practiced taxing in the US and also in Australia, you won't go wrong with AN Global and Mr. Vanish, who is very accessible. You can call him, discuss with him about anything that you want to achieve, your family, you also your business, in, live, and enjoy the U.S. economy. And that's exactly what Donald Trump, the president of the USA, is doing, based on what he explained to us as someone who has business, who operates in that particular country. So he's building policies, or he's recreating policies that will favor people who will come to live, do business, invest in the US, and grow and become successful in life. Because he is also a successful businessman. So no, this is not rumor. This is the facts that you're hearing today. Is there anything you want to talk to the entrepreneurs, business owners? Some of them are playing big in their own countries that will make them to change their mind or their conception regarding the what's going on in the US. Is there anything areas you want to offer them the professional advice on how to go about and not to drop their dream or drop their project of coming to the US based on the noise, based on the myths that are going on?
Well, I want to thank you because I'll be leaving in next 2 minutes. But to conclude,
Right.
I do feel that for those who are genuine business people, people, come to the front door, come in a legal way. We can help you put up your business case in a way. We work with professionals all around the US, whether they're attorneys, they're CPAs, good quality professionals. Those days where people think, let's do the shortcut, let's do the fraud, let's cross the border, let's just somehow get there. I think those days have become very difficult. So for those genuine people, I do believe US is the place to be. In my view, I mean, I've got choice. I can go and live in Australia tomorrow. I can go and live in India tomorrow. I have a company in Dubai as well, so I can get Emirates ID and live in Middle East if I want and all. I want to travel to these places. I want to do business in these places, but I still feel that what America offers, the magnitude, the great opportunity, the thinking, the resources, that is unmatched. I've been to all these countries. I've lived in many continents, and so definitely, when I make that statement, it's not that America is greatest for everyone. Maybe your sector is different, maybe your things are different, your personal life, your family life, your priorities may be different, but I'm just making a general statement that it's a great place uh, for a business owner to realize the dreams that will set them up, create a legacy for them, and they will, set their families, create a generational wealth that the whole next generations can be very happy and well, have a good quality of life. That's what we as family people try to do for our families. So I want to thank you, Mr. Nwali, and all your team for inviting me today. And I'll be very happy. I'm available, not necessarily all the time, but I'm on LinkedIn. The best place will be to connect through the LinkedIn, so we get to know your background, your profile. We'll be happy to have a quick chat, and we can be honest, straightforward people. We can give you assessment. We don't control the immigration policies of the government, and they have the thing they can change. But within that, we'll get the professional input. But from a business point of view, with or without immigration, we can certainly help you to have a base in America and grow your success, your passion, and create wealth for yourself and for your families.
Absolutely, that is correct. Amazing. We're happy to have you today. This is a clear podcast where clarity is our hallmark. Careless expansion is gone, and when the easy system disappear, only structured operators remain comfortable. And that's why in today's podcast, our special guest has given us clarity versus the noise that you hear on the social media and the content creators who are hyping the real issues that the current president is dealing and trying to make sure that the US is great again. And of course, business owners, multinational companies, and those small startups and all that, entrepreneurs, investors, this is where to go. Air Global is the best way to go. If you go with Air Global, you're not going to go wrong because they have everything you need and you can get started right now. And being friendly, and also someone who has multiple experiences and expertise. Is going to help you to grow your business with his team of experts in the US, of course, in Africa and other Asia, South Americans, and Europe. So want to thank you, sir, for the time, and also want to thank you for always giving us very first-hand information regarding the United States. And I know that our audience, those who are watching us right now, they are more clear about what is going on versus the noise, the panic mood that most of them are, is that there is a hope which AN Global can help you to get from where you are and invest in the US, live with your family, grow your business, and become successful. I want to thank you, sir, for the time, and do have a nice day.
Thank you very much.
For the audience,
you're a great ambassador
yes,
for African continent. So I congratulate you. Thank you very much. Okay. And thank you to all those who watched this video. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Do not forget to like, share, comment, and follow us, because we'll be having more podcasts and having Mr. Avanish Nichkade coming back, this Group CEO of AN Global, and from the United States, Dallas, Texas company with over 10 countries all over the world and still growing. The people who understand the language of business versus those who are theory, but those on ground. Thank you. Follow us, like for more notification. Have a good day.